just want to be able to feel safe and like secure for a second. Gotta get close up in here. I thought it was a real person, but it's not, I don't think. I was like, yes, hello, what? Said I won something. And then it lit up.
I saw the lights coming.
It said I was a lucky winner. Can I pick it up again to do the photo?
So she wanted? She did. She wants to do a photo.
You can stop recording.
Okay.
You gotta pick it up and then I'll do it. Did you win? I don't think he won. Doesn't look like he won. That was so long.
What did it say?
46% of women would rather not have sex for 2 weeks than lose the internet.
Something like that, yeah.
It's like a female empowerment brand and you just look like an asshole. You are so tan. Wow, it's beautiful.
Look at lunch.
Bitch, it's like dinner time. I love Von Dutch because it's like a 90s thing that came back. Look how freaking beautiful. We're like on Hype, what's it called? What do they call it? Hype Lane? It's like all the Hype stores. Like the stores where people stand outside for 3 hours for sneakers every Thursday. Let's get some grills.
Seems to pump, you know?
Is Pump even? Fuck it.
I love you.
I feel like we're about to get approached by fucking what's his face?
Who?
The Hollywood Fix guy. He's always on this. That. That painting.
It's like when the dog's rubbing on his butt.
Yeah, I know. I know. Oh, there's Doll's Kill. We almost fucking got there, man. What's up, guys? I see you. I would have gone, but it was too far of a walk.
Pretty much all the big stuff put in there.
Well, besides the bathroom.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Where's the tape? Oh, we have no more room for boxes. But
Did you already throw that microwave away?
I don't even want to be over there when people are over there. I mean, we like filled up the dumpsters.
Oh yeah.
People do that all the time. Whenever someone moves, the dumpster is always like trash.
Yeah, a lot of people was just sitting on the entire couch though. Like,
I thought the office was over there.
yeah, that's too. I
That
always
room in
thought
there
that.
with the windows, you can see in. There's like computers and
That's what I always thought. I was just 100%.
It used to be a gym when I moved in. And I was like, cool, there's a gym
Yeah.
here. And then a week
Yeah.
later, it turned into an office, and I was like, crap.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I called her the other day, and she's like, I have the times when she left her apartment. I'm like, why do you have that?
Why is that relevant?
Yeah, well, it was, I forget what it was about. Like, me saying that you hadn't gotten the...
It was saying I hadn't checked my mail.
Yeah, I said you hadn't, you just got the letter or whatever it was.
Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I got the whole back seat.
Oh,
In
yeah.
the front, in my mess of cords, this was plugged into itself. Just in there.
Brilliant.
Chad's doing cameos. Let's go spy.
It's a lifestyle change. It's not just, you gotta change everything in your life. And you know what? Once you do, you're gonna thank yourself for it. Because once you get there, like me, I can pretty much eat whatever I want now. Kind of do whatever I want, really. Just as long as I do it within moderation.
I haven't heard your prayer in a few days. I'm sorry, babe. had to check out of my Airbnb this morning, and not sure why things like keep happening, but after checking out, I drove to my sister's apartment, and poor Bug is so stressed out. Like, my sister has a cat, and her cat doesn't like Bug, and so I can't really stay with my sister, you know. Same goes with Chad. People are commenting on my video asking about that. Yeah, he has a dog, and it seems like the night that I stayed there was actually the worst, and it was kind of what kicked off Bug being really stressed out. She has her head buried into my arm right now, like, so we definitely can't stay there, and I just feel so bad because I think the fact that I checked out of my Airbnb this morning and had nowhere to go is what sort of is when it like really, I don't know, I feel so guilty because this Bug is so stressed out, and you know, moving all the stuff out of my apartment stressed her out, probably really confused her. Then we stayed at Chad's for a night. She stayed 2 nights because she wouldn't come out from underneath the bed, and that was awful, like truly awful. I've never seen her like that. And then we stayed at the Airbnb, and she was better there. No other animals, no other people, but still not really herself, but definitely much better. Still kind of confused, like what was happening. And then today, I mean, picking her up to go in the car to leave the Airbnb was like, she was traumatized. And then taking her to my sister's, where again she was traumatized because my sister's cat. And now we're here and we're in my car, and this is the calmest she's been since before I moved. I don't know if you can even hear me. I don't know if you can even see me. I don't really know why I'm filming this. I was feeling like I was gonna cry. I don't really want to call anyone because I just don't want to burden anyone. I even felt guilty being at my sister's place just now because I have Bug, and she had to take her cat over to her neighbor's house, and I can't imagine how much worse it would feel if I didn't have people that I could stay with. Because, I mean, the big issue, well, I'll tell you what is technically the biggest issue, and then as a follow-up to that, what I'm having the hardest time with, aside from that, is, so obviously, both of the people who I could stay with, they both have pets, and it doesn't work. It stresses out Bug, it stresses out my sister's cat. I don't know if Pumpkin's stressed out, but aside from that, my sister has a very small studio. Chad has a roommate. Those are both things that can kind of be worked around as long as there was like open communication, you know, about is it getting to be too much for me to be staying here at night, you know, stuff like that. But that doesn't even matter because we do have animals. But like I said, I can't imagine, you know, if I didn't have my sister here or Chad, how I would be feeling right now. The thing I'm having a really hard time with is just not having like a home base, I guess you could say. Though that's not really what I mean. Well, maybe. Because it's like when you travel, you know, you're without most of your stuff, you're out of your element, whatever, but it's never like you're sad, you know? Like you're happy when you travel because you're gonna go home to wherever you live and life goes on and whatever. I'm just having such a hard time not being able to like nest. And I know I don't have a baby, but like I don't know what other word to use for that. Like I'm literally living out of what I have in my car, and well, I'm pretty much living out of one bag. Everything else in my car is like stuff that wouldn't fit in storage that I don't need on a day-to-day basis. And if it were just me, I probably would be okay sleeping a couple nights in my car and then switching back and forth from places, but it's not just me, and that's really scary anyway. It's also really shitty to have stuff in my car because, you know, my car's been broken into before, and it was full of stuff because I was going to be moving. Aside from, like, the actual stress of all of this and, like, trying to figure out what I'm even going to do, like, it's hard to just make it day by day, even hour by hour. I think I'm a very flexible and spontaneous person, and I do well with, like, not a super set schedule. Well, I mean, I have, like, routine, but not really a schedule. I do well with that, but once you take away, like, that home base or that space that's mine that is safe and I can go back to, and, you know, Bug has a place to live and my things are there, it's like, I'm not okay. Like, and moving around from place to place to place to place, it's like the worst feeling. I woke up this morning, which I only slept for an hour. Again, literally, I'm like not sleeping at all. I got like one night of sleep in the past 2 weeks. I woke up this morning and kind of like, I was so tired. I was kind of just like disoriented, and for a second I thought I was in my bed at my old apartment, and then I realized I wasn't, and I realized I was in my Airbnb, and for a second I was like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, pack up my stuff and then go home, and then like it hit me that I don't have literally anywhere to go home. And earlier, before I came in my car about an hour ago, my sister was like, I have to get work done, I have to bring Disco, her cat, back because she was over at her neighbor's house. And so that's like, for me, that's like, I have to leave, you know, and I have a lot of stuff to get done too, but like, what am I supposed to do, you know? You okay, bub? Now we're just here in my car, and I have no clue what I'm gonna do. We can't afford to get another Airbnb. It's really expensive. Like, it ends up being, even for like the shittiest, smallest, worst location Airbnb, for a week minimum, it's like $1,000 minimum. Like, I paid more than that for the 4 nights that I stayed at this last one, and that was the only thing that they had available. It's just so, I don't know, I've been stressed out, yes, like this whole time. This whole thing has been so much for me, and so many downs, just like down after down after down, like to the point where it's just like, what is even going on anymore? Like, I feel so bad that my literal child is so stressed out and anxious and confused. It's like, yeah, I'm really stressed, but like, at least I understand what's going on. I can't even explain to her what's going on. Interesting. I never thought I would be in this situation. Even my sister was just saying, like, you know, I'm proud of you for how you're handling this, and blah blah blah. This will, you know, it's happening for you, and you'll know why soon, and you're beautiful, and you have a brain, and you're blah blah blah, you know. And I'm like, as she's saying all that, I'm like, and why am I in this situation? And then like, it hits me that I didn't really get myself into this situation. But then once I even tell myself that, I'm like, don't be the victim. But at the same time, it's like, but I am, so I don't know how to not think that. But I mean, it's not even like I'm thinking that. I'm honestly just in survival mode. I've been in the literal definition of survival mode for the past 2 weeks, and I don't think I really knew that I was until my sister said it, because she got home and she was like, you look like you haven't slept in like a month. And I was like, I haven't really. I'm like running on fumes. And she's like, oh, you've been in survival mode. And it kind of hit, because like, even Chad, who sees me every day, like doesn't understand the state that I'm in, because he expects me to be like my normal self. Doesn't understand why like I don't want to have sex one night, or I'm being like quiet, or maybe irritable, or whatever. And I guess that's kind of what it is. It's like, I'm literally in pure survival mode. Like, the worst is just like the guilt that I have for Bug. I can't imagine a child. Like, the thing is, like, I'm so super grateful that I have people who You know, if I really had to, which I almost considered doing earlier today, but my car has so many problems I wouldn't make it, I could drive home and stay with my parents. Well, not really, because I work here, but like, what else am I gonna do, you know? And then I have my sister here, and I have Chad, and they're all not only saying I can stay with them if I like figure out, you know, what to do with Bug, which is kind of, I don't know. They're just there, and like, all things considered, like, this has been really fucking hard and stressful and like emotional, but it could have been so much worse if I didn't have people, or I'm sitting in a car that I own, so that like that's something right there that a lot of people who don't have a home. So I'm not, that's the thing, like, I'm really truly not feeling sorry for myself. This could just be a lot worse, and that is what keeps like kind of replaying in my head, is like, even for like a shitty situation, like I'm still blessed in a sense. And yeah, I don't know, I'm not having to tell myself that, like, it just like, if I start to feel down, like, it pops up in my head and like reminds me. The hard thing though to get past is the fact that I feel guilty about Bug, because nothing I can think to myself can like change that, really. Like, all struggles and tribulations in life, just because it could be worse, and just because it's not, whatever, I can't even think right now, you guys. Just because it could be worse. I'm trying to say this, but I was trying to say it in not like a cliche way, but whatever, I can't think of words right now. So just because it could be worse doesn't mean that it's not still really hard. And it's really taken a toll on me, like, for sure, physically, and just like the fact that I've just been in a constant, like, is survival mode related to adrenaline? Because I think it's gotta be. You know, not sleeping is not good for you. Being constantly anxious and tense and stressed, like, it really does fuck with you physically, you know? Definitely not taking care of myself the way that I normally do. Put a lot of strain on my relationship because I'm so stressed, and sometimes people can't understand. Well, it doesn't matter. It's just like, it's just because it's not worse, just because it could be worse doesn't mean that it's not still a nightmare for me. And also just like not knowing things, the unknown, and just so many unknowns all at once. Chad trying to get me to give him an answer for if I'm gonna go home with him for Christmas before I go to see my family, and me being like, I don't know, because I don't know where I'll be. I don't know, like, everything is just like a giant question mark. And in the meantime, everything is chaotic, and you know, my work suffers, everything suffers. I'm so tired. I don't even know if I'm gonna upload this, because A, I don't know if you can even see me because I'm like in the dark with one street light, and B, I don't want this to be a sob story. I wasn't trying for it to be. Maybe it sounded that way. I don't know. I kind of just needed to talk things out, because I mean, there's so much more that I haven't even said. So much. There's just so much. I'll tell you what doesn't smell good is when there's cat poop in a litter box, because she poops while you're driving and you can't scoop it until you're not driving anymore. And so you have to smell cat shit for 45 minutes, and it's suffocating. And then she's walking all over me with her poop paws because I'm driving. I just want to be able to feel safe and like secure for a second. Even just like, even having the Airbnb, like, I wasn't comfortable, I wasn't totally devoid of stress, but like at night there was somewhere that I could go back to and like decompress and feel safe, and it was my space for 5 days, and I don't have that, and it's like the worst feeling. It definitely doesn't help that like my PTSD wasn't doing great even before this happened, and like just being constantly on edge and not feeling safe is like, I swear to God, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Yeah, I just wish I had that place that I could go to even for fucking another 5 days and feel like secure for a second. But I don't and I can't, and I'll make it work. Make things work. Send good vibes, prayers, or don't. You don't have to. I don't know. I don't know anymore. The universe be testing me. Or something.